dark stars and lava lamp lights. Nostalgia Mania, let your memories fly. Toys R Us tears in a surge soda high. From hair gel spikes to butterfly clips, we're bringing it back. No skips, just hits. Nostalgia Mania, come take the trip.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to episode 41 of Nostalgia Mania, back in the Daycast, the show that takes you back to the legendary games, movies, toys, wrestling, and all the memories that made the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s absolutely unforgettable. I am your host, the real Josh Elliott. With me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian J. Baby!
How's it going, Josh?
Fantastic, man. How are you doing?
Doing good now that I'm back home.
Yeah, we're both back home, man. Back where we belong in the saddle, I guess, so to speak. So
Yeah, back in being able to sleep in our own beds.
yeah, that was nice. You had a lot longer of a stint than I did, but nonetheless, we both recorded on location last week.
On location, yes.
So today's episode is going to be fun, man. It's we're going to load up the Family Truckster and hit the road and talk about that 1983 classic, National Lampoon's Vacation. This is going to be a fun one, man. This is one you picked.
It is, yes.
And came out in July of 1983. So got to keep that theme of picking a movie from the month that we're in. And God, it had been a while, man. It had been a while since I've seen this movie.
Yes, it's been a long time, and I realized after you and I were talking how there are certain things in this movie that if you made it today would definitely be cut out.
Yes. One of the first things I sent to you was this movie did not age well.
It did not, however, it's not all of it that didn't age well. It's just a couple of small parts that, to be honest, they could have left out and it would have been a great movie.
Yeah. It didn't make or break the movie, honestly, those parts that we're talking about. So we're going to break down the start all the way through. We may not go scene by scene like we did with other movies, but this was an all-time classic. But, man, this has been kind of a wild week. You know, I don't want to get not negative, but like kind of down a little bit. But we lost two legends, so to speak, this week. Malcolm Jamal Warner, the son of on the Cosby Show, also played in The Resident. He passed away yesterday, unfortunately, and then we just found out today that Ozzy Osbourne passed away as well. Man, that's two crushing blows in like less than 24 hours, pretty much.
Yes, it was.
Were you a big Ozzy fan?
I was. Yep, I was. Still am. Just not every single song, but he had some good stuff out there.
Yeah, I think I owned one of his CDs back in high school, and I remember getting the stereo system with the two separate speakers and putting them on each side of the room and cranking it up and. Classic, man.
Oh yeah,
absolutely classic. But not to another kind of negative story. We haven't even talked about this yet, but since we do a lot of wrestling on the show, did you hear about Buff Bagwell?
I did not.
So Buff Bagwell had his leg amputated.
Oh no.
At the knee due to a car accident that happened back in 2020. It's been kind of lingering.
Right.
Chase and I went to St. Louis for that fan fest back in 2023, I think it was. And I could tell he was limping around and kind of having trouble getting around, but he was still doing the strut and kind of doing the thing, the Buff Bagwell gimmick.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess it's crazy. Like they showed a picture of it. It's gonna be a wild ride for him now. He's gonna have to figure out how to walk with a prosthetic leg.
Yeah, that's it's never fun. Never fun to hear that or to go through that.
No, yeah, I couldn't even imagine trying to go through that, man. Appreciate Autumn in the house over on our Twitch page. Autumn in almost every single week. I'm telling you, we're on episode 41.
Yeah.
She's probably been here like 38 episodes.
And we appreciate that.
We do. Appreciate Autumn for tuning in. Even if it's just for a little bit, I still love that she tunes in and comments. So let's jump into this real quick, guys. We are live right now on JSE Studios on YouTube and Facebook, as we are each and every week. If you're listening to this on the podcast platform and you want to participate in the episode, we are live Tuesday nights around between the hours of 8 and 8:30 p.m. Central Time, both on YouTube and Facebook at JSE Studios. You can also find us on podcast platforms, pretty much any podcast platform that you listen to. We like to promote Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but we're on all the others as well. Castbox, Apple Podcast, not Apple, but anyway, whatever you get your podcast, we're there.
You just find us.
Search Nostalgia Mania. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on all the other ones, but yeah, and then we're also got an Instagram, a TikTok, an X, a Twitch, all at JSE Studios 816. You can follow Brian J. Bebe on social media. Where can they follow you, sir?
Right here on all platforms, Brian J _Bebe. Well, I say all platforms. We'll say Twitter. I refuse to say X. TikTok and Instagram.
There you go. There you go. Go give Brian J a follow as well. We would greatly appreciate that. He posts some good stuff over there on the Insta.
Sometimes.
I don't get on X very often, so I can't vouch for your X posting, but or TikTok or whatever, Twitter. But anyway, wherever you're watching or listening, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Let's jump into this, man. This is a classic movie that kind of stemmed multiple sequels. We'll say that, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But National Lampoon's Vacation. It kind of tell us, Brian, what give us the premise. Normally I read that off, but go ahead and tell us the premise of what this movie is about.
So it's about a man who would like to spend more time with his family and go on vacation, but instead of just flying out, he wants to spend quality time with them on the road as they drive from Chicago to California to Walley World theme park.
And it goes ever so smoothly, am I right?
It does. So the movie's only about 20 minutes long, and I'm just kidding. It's they go through quite a bit, and it's funny because they drive. We can get into where stuff was filmed if you want. Majority of this movie was filmed in Boone, Colorado.
I did not know that.
Yep, used what was it? 2 theme parks in California, and I think he spent like 55 days in Colorado, and then Santa Ana Racetrack in Acadia and Magic Mountain in California.
So is the place in Colorado, is that anywhere near Denver? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up. I just know because I'm a fan.
You're
I've been a fan since I was a kid. A little bit less after thinking about those 2 scenes, but and we are not giving up those scenes.
No,
At all. So if you ask us, it will cost you $50. We'll tell you in person.
There you go. So this movie, National Lampoon's Vacation, was released on July 29th, 1983, with a budget of $15 million, which sounds awfully familiar because we just, I talked about Problem Child, which had the exact same budget. And the earnings for this movie, National Lampoon's Vacation, $61.4 at the domestic box office, crushing the budget. Huge
Yeah,
success.
absolutely.
Everybody loved it. It was a huge hit. Do you remember watching this as a kid? I don't know how old you were in '83.
83, I was 8. I did not watch this at the theaters. It was a movie we watched VHS tape after
Classic.
it's like 85, I want to say I watched it, maybe 86.
Yeah. So, like, what were your parents like? Because this was obviously rated R. Like, when did your parents kind of start allowing you to watch those kind
There
of
there
movies?
were certain genres of movies, like this was more comedy, and I mean rated R in this was more for like the drinking and like situational type stuff, not as much so like comedies and stuff. My parents weren't too worried about that. But when you got to like horror movies, they weren't really worried about that either. It's more the uh, explicit, we'll say, movies that I didn't watch
Yeah,
really until
the rated
much
X.
older. Right? No, much older. But
Yeah.
we didn't have cable. We had a VCR, and we pretty much went to the video store quite a bit, and we got to the point where they knew us, and they asked my dad, "Hey, is it okay if Brian rents rated R movies?" My dad's like, "That's why I gave him a card, so I wouldn't have to come up with him." So yeah,
That's awesome.
but it was mostly. I mean, we did like Rambo and stuff like that.
Right.
We went so.
Yeah, I don't remember. My parents were a little bit more conservative. I didn't get to watch a lot of those until I got a little bit older. I remember like it was funny. I think I've told this previously. There was a show called Married with Children,
Mhm.
and it had a lot of innuendos and comedy that my parents would watch a lot, and I was a young kid, and I didn't really understand the jokes or what they were talking about. And I remember I got to an age to where I kind of was starting to understand it, and then all of a sudden they stopped letting me watch it. They said you can't
Yeah,
watch this anymore for a while, and I was like, "Why, Mom? I was watching this last year as why can't I watch it now?" And it's like, "Oh, because you can understand what they're saying now and know what
yeah.
kind of start putting things together."
Once you know, then I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
So, oh man. So, the director of this movie, man, the iconic Harold Ramis,
Harold Ramis, yes.
known
I'm sure
for
we'll
obviously Ghostbusters, Groundhog Day, Stripes.
I'm sure we'll review some more of his movies. It was also written by a very now famous '80s writer from a lot of movies, John Hughes.
Yes, I have that information as well. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The
Oh,
Breakfast Club, Uncle Buck, Home Alone.
in the '80s, what didn't he, write the screenplay for, or help direct?
Every single one of those movies is on my list that I made the other day.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
I'm like
Breakfast
every
Club.
single. I was like, wait, yes, that's what. Honestly, when I looked that up and I saw that, that's what prompted me to make the
Mhm.
list. And I said, man, I remember all these movies. I
It's
love Home Alone. I watch it at least 3 or 4 times every Christmas.
oh
One of
yeah,
my probably, I mean, it's top two, maybe even my favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone, the original. It's up
very
there for
very good.
me. But yeah, Uncle Buck, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like
Look at it,
iconic.
and he also did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And if you
Oh, he
look,
did. Yeah.
yeah, any movie in the '80s that their hometown was, or it was in, or they were trying to get to, was Chicago, and
Yeah.
that's where he was from. So Ferris Bueller's Day Off's in Chicago. Like all those movies, they're Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He's trying to get back home to Chicago, and yeah, it's just one of his little like Easter eggs, we'd say.
Well, I mean, I don't blame him because I mean, if I became a writer or whatnot, I
Mhm.
would definitely write and gear toward Missouri, Kansas City.
Oh
So I
yeah.
mean, I do the same thing. So, oh man,
So
good
hence the
stuff.
reason they're going from Chicago to California.
Yep. Yep. Movie starred Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold. Beverly D'Angelo as Ellen. Randy Quaid, Cousin Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Michael Hall played Rusty, and Dana Barron was
Dang.
Audrey. Now these changed over the course of
Every movie.
Every movie, pretty much. I don't think the kids were the kids ever the same in any of them.
The kids were not, and the reason being is Anthony Michael Hall was in the first one, and they were going to keep the kids the same for as long as they could. But he was shooting another movie when they started European Vacation, so they just switched the kids entirely. And then they're like, "Hey, we'll just continue with this theme." So
was European Vacation the second one?
Yes. So it's a different Rusty, a different Audrey, and then the next movie different, And they even got to the point where like Rusty was older and Audrey was younger, and then at some point they switched.
I don't think I noticed that. That's wild.
Yeah, and it is wild because one of your favorites is Christmas Vacation, where Rusty is younger, Audrey is older.
Oh yeah, because that Christmas Vacation was the guy that played in Roseanne, and God, I forget. I'm drawing a blank. He played in Big Bang Theory.
Yes, Johnny Galecki.
Yes. So he played Russ on Christmas Vacation.
Yep, a young Rusty.
Yes. So European Vacation came second. I'll be honest with you. I don't have hardly any memories of this movie at all. Like I can't even tell you for sure that I've seen the other three. I can't remember anything that happened in European Vacation.
So I'm going to find out when this movie was made, and we will review it at one point, because it was this one overall. How many stars would you give it out of 5? The first one.
The first one?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's I don't know, probably 3.
Okay. So
and then my favorite's Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Out of all of them was Christmas. Vegas is up there. So I'll probably put Christmas 1, probably Vegas 2, and then probably the original at 3, or a close 3. Like I would say Vegas and the original could probably flip flop.
You will put European Vacation at 5 out of 5.
So you're the best or the worst?
As the worst. And you're going to give it a 1 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
It has its funny moments, but it's nothing like the original.
Yeah. Chase is here. He'd give European a half a star. Okay, well then let's watch it. Let's do an episode.
So now we have to watch it, right?
100%, man. Like I don't always want to do great movies. I want to get in them, and we're gonna have a bad one in August. Trust me.
We have to do some bad movies. Just 100%. One bad one in August.
Well, so far, I mean, I'm gonna let you pick another one. So you pick whatever one you want. So yes, so I would say Christmas 1, Vegas 2, original 3, European 4. Well, I guess there was a 2015 remake. Not a remake, but like a sequel.
It was just Vacation.
Right? Yeah, it was just called Vacation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a screenshot of that. I didn't pull that one. But
that's fine.
But anyway, so let's dive into this, man.
Sure.
Let's start off. Them opening credits, kind of rolling through the stamps and the screenshots of all the the sites across America, playing the Holiday Road theme, kind of sets up the vibe for the movie. Kind of walk us through the beginning, kind of Clark's, because it starts off basically Clark buying that Queen Family Truckster.
Shows up at the dealership, getting ready to buy the car or pick up his car that he bought, so they can go on vacation in the new car. The Queen Family Truckster, and he ordered it in a metallic ice blue.
Yep.
Do you remember the color he got?
It was a green, wasn't it?
It was a metallic pea green. And,
I've got a.
so he was upset and said that he did not want the pee, and he wanted his car back. And Eugene Levy is the car salesman, who is hilarious. And so Eugene Levy says, "Get him his car back. He wants it back right now." And he said that to the lot porter. And when they show it, his car has already been squashed.
Hey, he shows up to the house, to the family, and his wife comes out, and they're like, "Clark, what? This isn't the car you ordered. You ordered a sports car,
Yeah.
And Clark was like, "You think you hate it now? Wait till you drive it."
That's the line that Eugene Levy says, and then he says it to her, and it's like, it's a genius line, that a car salesman would try to pull on someone, right?
Oh, that's great. Man, and the, again, we're not going to go scene by scene, but one of the funny kind of happenings that happened throughout this movie was the fact that they put all of their luggage and stuff and they strap it onto the car. I didn't count. I wish I would have. How many times the luggage got knocked off or flown off the top of that car?
A lot.
It had to have been at least 5.
At least. Yeah.
Starting off in the garage as as it gets all finally strapped in and just backed out of the garage, and all of it gets knocked off.
Yeah. Which was quite funny.
Yeah. So they head on to the road, man. They're going to Walley World, a theme park in California,
which is loosely based off of Walt Disney World.
Yeah. I didn't even. Honestly, I didn't even. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together.
I mean, even the actor kind of looks like him.
Now that you say it, I can definitely see it.
Instead of Mickey Mouse, they had Marty Moose.
God, I'm an idiot. I don't know how I didn't.
It's because I've watched it so much, Josh. If you watch it a little bit more, maybe 3-4 times a year, you'll start catching it.
Yeah, yeah. This is a great one, man. Like I said, I hadn't seen this since, God, it had been years. But I mean, I remember watching it a few times as a kid. But like you said, like if I would have watched it more often, I guarantee you I would have picked up on it. It's pretty cool, man. They kind of head off and they're going toward California, heading west, and we see a familiar sight for both of us because it's right on the other side of the state.
St. Louis.
That's that St. Louis Arch, man. Kind of cool getting that scene. You saw it was a clear visual of St. Louis because you saw the I-70, on the street signs, the highway signs, and
as much as we've been there, we could probably say which bridge it was.
Yeah, and it was actually that bridge that they exited off, and kind of that's the first kind of detour, I guess, that they took in the movie. Somehow got off the main highway and got through St. Louis. And
we'll just say that they had some hubcaps taken while they were asking for directions.
Yes. Yes, they did.
And,
so what else happened? I didn't want to say this. So they talked about going up into another classic line was them. And this is, if you think back to any road trip, especially with kids, but even growing up, like as a kid, you're driving for a long period of time. You see something cool, and your parents are like, "Yeah, look at this. This is the XYZ. This is the St. Louis Arch. You can go. There's a big elevator in there. You can go up there and see it." And the kid's like, "Oh, cool. Can we go up there?" No,
not right now. It's closed. Yeah.
What do you have any? Do you have any memories of not I say iconic, but do you have any memories of great road trips with your family growing up? Is there any stories?
Oh yeah,
that you have.
We took a road trip. We went from in '89. We went from Kansas City to Memphis. Stayed there a couple of days. Went to Nashville. Stayed there a couple of days. Over to Chattanooga. Also to Gatlinburg. Back across, stayed in St. Louis for about 3 or 4 days, and then back home. We were gone for about, I want to say 12 days, maybe 14.
That's awesome.
It was it's a pretty long trip, and we were in a rented car, not the family truckster. But yeah, that first day, man, it was like a 9-hour drive from Kansas City because we went Kansas City through St. Louis down to Memphis, and a little bit of a haul.
I can't believe you didn't bring up the time you went to St. Louis to see Anarchy and GCW with
Oh,
Chase.
with Chase, yeah, we almost died
He brought that up
in
in
the
the chat.
morning.
That's why I brought it up.
No, I'm just kidding, dude. We had so much fun on that trip, just bullshitting the whole way, talking.
I
It
did
was a
just
lot of
see
fun.
somebody just posted that AEW is coming to St. Louis sometime. I don't know. I didn't look at the date. I just saw the graphic. So I think a pay per view is coming. So
Oh, that'd be cool.
we got to we got to get on that. I think.
Are there any Pepsi sweets there?
I don't know. I hope so.
Asking for a friend.
I hope so. I might be able to get a hookup. I know there's no freaking every arena in Kansas City either doesn't have a suite or Pepsi doesn't sponsor the arena anymore. But man,
yeah,
I remember
we had a lot of fun that trip. I think on the way out there there were some talks of a new wrestling company in Kansas City. That I think that's kind of where I heard of some beginning rumblings of something very good.
Yep. I heard lots of good things about that company. So that's
yeah,
good.
Me too. Yeah, we had a lot of fun that trip.
I remember there was a time, and this is crazy how times have changed because I don't think anybody. I mean, I'm sure there would be people that would do this now. So we went to, I want to say this was in either North or South Dakota. We went up to a fishing trip, me and my dad and a couple, my head football coach, his son, for those watching, Bryce, and I think maybe somebody else. But anyway, we took a Chevy 1500 up there, which means, and it had a tiny little back seat and it only had 2 front seats. So basically what we did, and it had a camper shell on it. So what they did is they had him and his dad, my dad and his dad up front, all of our luggage in the back seat where like people would sit. Right. And then they put like I want to say it was either blankets or some sort of air mattress or mattress in the back. And we were laying down the entire drive to North Dakota on a freaking mattress in the back of a Chevy 1500. What a crazy experience that was.
That would be.
Like, you gotta go to the bathroom. We gotta go up there and bang on the window. Yeah. Like, what? I gotta piss. Oh, give us 50 more miles. You'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You're fine.
Chase says Wrestle Dream. It's an AEW pay-per-view. Nice. That's the one coming to St. Louis. So, what other spots? Again, I don't have anything in order, so we're not gonna do this. What other iconic scenes of this movie did you want to kind of talk about? I mean, I got a few bullet points, but
sure. I think after St. Louis, when they got to Cousin Eddie's and Catherine.
Yeah.
So Ellen's cousin's house, and Eddie is her husband, and this is where you first meet crazy Uncle Eddie, who is quite hilarious. That
he is. You see, he's got the cutoff, the beater on, the shorts. You can see that they're kind of struggling, and you can see the differences between Clark's family and Cousin Eddie's family. And it's kind of very apparent there. And they eat dinner. They meet Aunt Edna, who had been staying there with Cousin Eddie, and somehow I got talked into going with Clark
and giving him money.
Rewind that and tell us, because for whatever reason I missed that part.
So
how did Aunt Edna end up going with Clark?
Okay, so I just want to back up for just a minute because you missed some iconic.
My bad.
Points in the dinner scene when was it the cousin is mixing the Kool-Aid with her arm in the jug. Eddie cooking hamburger helper and ask Clark if he likes it because you don't really need the hamburger. and then Clark putting ketchup on it, which was made with real tomatoes. um, so after dinner, and they're in there, and they were talking about. I think they were talking about like their struggles, and Eddie, and so Clark writes him a check, gives it to him, and they're talking about how Aunt Edna wants to move in with what's her name?
That's right. Yeah, it was.
Catherine's
Yeah.
brother in Flagstaff. She's like, so she's going to go move from their house to Flagstaff, but she needs a way there, and they talk them into giving her a ride because they're going to California anyway. And then the next morning they wake up and she's walking out, and that's where Cousin Eddie gives Clark takes the money that Clark gave him, goes buys him white shoes that no man would wear.
Except for Clark later in the movie.
later in the movie. Yep.
I did want to shout out. We have a couple viewers here. Aaron Wallace in the house. Always remember National Vacation. I wouldn't be able to be in those movies. Chevy Chase would have loved to beat him up with Wally helping Chevy. Travis Cook being a local wrestling personality. So appreciate Aaron for joining in.
Sure.
So let's talk about this, this, I guess, dream girl Ferrari that you see throughout the entire movie, right? She's first seen in heading, I think it was after Cousin Eddie's house for the first time, or shortly after.
Yes, I think so.
And everybody's sleeping right in the car, and she kind of passes, and he kind of gives the eye to her, and so she passes on. Then she ends up at the truck stop where they're eating a lunch. I don't know what she's doing at cutting looks like she's filming a commercial or something.
I mean, it's Christie Brinkley of all people,
Right.
Like back then she was.
Oh yeah.
She was the dream for most teenage kids.
100%.
I wasn't quite a teen yet, but I still enjoyed the view.
100%. She's there. Then she ends up at the hotel with them, where Clark, and I may have missed one of the appearances, but she ends up at the hotel where Clark is, ends up leaving the hotel room and going down and talking to her, and says that he owns the hotels and
the whole chain,
and he's undercover. That's why he's driving the car that he's driving, and
with the people that aren't his family.
Yeah. Not his wife, not his kids. They're all hired actors. And ends up in the swimming pool. Naked with her.
Also naked.
Yeah. And gets caught by the entire hotel, because he screams when he gets into the water. And, of course, his wife catches him. And that pretty much rounds out that story with Christie's character. But it's just crazy to think it's just the constant attempts of Clark being married, taking his family on vacation. Go ahead.
No, what? Go ahead. Well,
I was just going to go on.
We can talk about my point later on because it's relevant through the whole movie.
Yeah. And it's the constant, trying to get with this, dream girl, multiple scenes in a row, trying to cheat on his wife, even going to the fact that, hey, my wedding ring is not real. And then finally ends up at the end, going something with his wife, or at least but yeah, nonetheless, just kind of a funny, I guess funny, side story of the kind of the main goal of getting to Walley World was the whole dream girl in the Ferrari.
And so after this, I believe it was when we found out Aunt Edna died in the car. The kids were pushing her back and forth, and So did they call a hospital or someone to take her away, Josh?
They did not.
What did they do with Aunt Edna?
Well, they wrapped her up in a blanket and tied her on the top of the car.
Yes, because they had to get to Walley World.
They had to get to Walley World. They could not stop. She's already dead. There's nothing they can do. They might as well.
Might as well just take her to her son's in Flagstaff, right, and drop her off.
Yeah, they're not going to be mad that they're going to come home to a dead grandma on the porch.
Exactly.
Oh my God, it was great. That was hilarious. And and speaking of, it was funny because Clark, this may have been before they dropped him off. It was the Grand Canyon scene where like Ellen is standing there just admiring the beauty of the Grand Canyon, and he ends up taking money from inside and comes out and he's like, all right, come on, Helen. No, let's look at the Grand Canyon. He goes, oh, that's great. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. That's because didn't his wallet got stolen or something, and
yeah, they lost to her credit cards, so they turned off the credit cards, but his also were attached, I guess, and so he couldn't use his. And back in the day, old tech, like checks basically and cash were mostly what you used.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I meant to put this in. I totally forgot to do this. The amount of physical comedy that's in this movie is absolutely phenomenal. Like if you don't like get or like physical comedy, then this is probably not the movie for you. But
no,
there was one scene at the very beginning, completely forgot to mention it, where they're inside and Ellen is talking to Clark about maybe we should fly to California rather than drive. And he goes, no, it's all about the getting there. It's not the actual destination. It's getting there. They're doing dishes and she is scraping the food off the plate and hands it to Clark. Clark takes a towel and just wipes it one time and puts it right back into the cupboard.
And puts it in the cupboard, yes.
With the open dishwasher right next to him. Instead of putting it in the net, he wipes it one time and puts it back in the cupboard.
There's a lot of little things like that you can catch.
Like if you didn't notice that, like if you were watching, you would have completely missed it. It was funny.
A lot of it's just genius what they did with it.
And it got me thinking, man, like, do you know when, and I did some research, so I'm going to get these numbers wrong. I did not write them down. Do you know when dishwashers were created?
I do not.
Because when I saw that in their house, I said, man, that's 1983. I said, was dishwashers even a thing back then? And
I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure it was maybe...
It was. The first mechanical dishwasher was made in the 1800s.
Oh, wow.
Mechanical. Now, not electrical, obviously.
Right.
And it wasn't until about the 70s where the electrical dishwasher started to become a thing. And obviously, you were a high roller. You had money if you had a dishwasher. Obviously, Clark's family has money. When did you first have a dishwasher in your house?
Oh, geez. It was probably late 80s.
So you did have some in the 80s then?
Late 80s, yeah.
Nice. I don't think so I did not have any growing up until we moved to where we're at, well, in the city we're at now, Raymore. So it would have been 6th grade, 1999 is when we got it. Our old house growing up I think they ended up installing it because my mom stayed at that house. They ended up installing one later, but we didn't have a dishwasher until...
I want to say we had one for about 2 years, 88 and 89 or what. I was in middle school, and then it broke, so my dad just got rid of it, and we just washed them by hand ever since then.
Yeah.
And my wife and I got together and got married, and our first apartment had one, and had one ever since.
Had one ever since, yeah. Great invention.
The best.
Yeah. So, did you ever have any, there's a lot of tension on this road trip. Did you have any, you spoke about a good one. Did you have any crazy memories of something that may have went haywire on a road trip?
Not really.
Not really.
I can't recall any.
Yeah, I don't either. I was just kind of seeing if maybe you had a crazy story. I remember we went to Florida once in an RV.
Mhm.
My cousin, my cousin was big into dance. Both of them actually. They danced and they had like nationals or something in Florida once, and then also Vegas once. Um,
Okay.
which, speaking of which, I've never been to Vegas as an adult. I take that back. I haven't experienced Vegas as an adult. I went with a work trip and I didn't really get to do anything.
Right.
But anyway, I'm getting off track.
Mhm.
One of those, I think it was Florida. We took a RV and drove down, which was kind of cool. I've never been in an RV before. That's the only
Yeah.
time I'd ever been in one. You're basically in a moving house,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
it was cool. I enjoyed it. But again, nothing pops out as like crazy or
Yeah, the craziest thing I think that happened was on that trip with the rented car when we were driving in Tennessee. We drove, I think it was like 6 hours or 7 hours from Gatlinburg to St. Louis. We had just passed, I want to say Pigeon Forge, which is where Dollywood is. Because I remember Dad's like, "Hey, look, there's Dollywood. If we had more time, we'd stay there." Which we actually did have time, but he wanted to go to St. Louis for a while. Um, Once we passed that, about 5 miles later, we had a flat tire, and that's about it. You know,
man.
but no, it's yeah.
They just kind of getting back on track with the movie. It was roughly around this time where they dropped off Aunt Edna at the house on the porch. It's pouring down
Mhm.
rain. Everything's going wrong. Everyone's talking about, what? This isn't even worth it anymore.
Let's
I
just
don't
go home.
want to go. This is turn around and go home or whatnot. And one of the most iconic quotes. Do you know it?
Yes, but not by heart. I
This is no longer a vacation. It's a quest. A
a
quest
quest
for
for
fun.
fun.
He hits him
And
with that and says, You're gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun. We're all gonna have so much effing fun that it's
yeah,
gonna be shitting out your asshole." Dude, it was the funniest. I wanted to use that entire thing for the promo, but obviously
yeah.
with the cursing, I didn't. But
He has some
iconic quote.
he has some iconic quotes when he gets upset.
He does. He had a
When
lot
he
of good
when
meltdowns.
he's pushed to the brink is when the good quotes come out. But I mean, honestly, this whole movie has some pretty good daily quotes you could use.
Yeah. Yep. And so we're rounding toward the end. They're only 10 hours away from Walley World. They end up
Mhm.
proceeding. And they get all the way to California. They pull into Walley World. And what happens, Brian J?
The parking lot's empty, so they park at the very back because he said he wanted to be the first ones there, and they could be the first ones to leave. Which I don't know about you, but if I go to a theme park, I'm usually not going to be out of there first. I like to stay for as long as I can. But it's his movie, so they start running, and Chariots of Fire starts playing, and they get to the front, and there is Marty Moose with a little button that says press here. So you press there, and it says the park's closed for 2 weeks for renovations.
You can see his soul leave his body at that point.
Yes.
Great acting, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like a great acting moment.
And then he punches the moose right in the schnoz.
Square in the nose, yeah. Oh man. Going back to the parking lot scene. So when you go to let's flip the script a little bit.
Mhm.
If it's a like sporting event or something like that, like would you rather park close and then when everybody's leaving at the same time and then you're stuck in that traffic forever to get out, or would you rather park far away? Yes, it's a longer walk, but
Right.
once you get in the car, you're basically gone.
To me, it doesn't matter, honestly. If I'm going to a sporting event, I kind of expect it leaving will take a while. Um, so to me personally, I mean, you could midway. I'd rather park further out if it's a sporting event. But like at a theme park, you really don't know. People come and go all the time, so
Yeah,
it's not really going to be that big of a rush unless it's like 10 o'clock. Everyone's leaving. So
yeah,
in my mind, I think like sporting events, you're right. You get in there, get out, but it's it just depends on the sporting event, I guess. Chiefs
yeah.
game, I'm definitely want to park out.
Dude, I will say, man, that the Chase brought me to. He hooked me up because I think he had season
Mhm.
tickets, or I don't know. I don't know if season tickets like flow through to playoffs. I don't know. I don't know
Right.
the logistics of that. But the Jags and the Chiefs went to the playoffs in 2018 ish. I don't know. That's the last time the
Sure.
Jags have been relative or relevant. Easy for me to say. Anyway, he hooked me up with some tickets, and we had we went tailgating back at his one of his family members' parking lots, and it was outside of Arrowhead's parking lot. Like it was
Nice.
far away. And we walked. It didn't. I mean, once we started walking, I mean, we were drinking a little bit, so it didn't
Yeah.
seem like it was that far of a walk. It was snowing. It was a great atmosphere, and anyway, I loved it because by the time we got out, like we were ready to go. Like we were out, boom, gone. And it
Yeah.
wasn't there was no sitting in parking lots, no nothing, except for that long, lonely walk in teal through the Arrowhead parking lot
Right.
after the Jaguars lose. That was kind of that was a rough walk, but
Yeah. That would be a little rough walk, but
no, Chiefs
this
fans are
scene
fun.
also this scene you also see a very young John Candy.
It was not 20. Sorry, I don't mean to go back. It was not 2023.
Yeah, it might have been.
Was it? It was not 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago?
They played him just a couple of years ago.
God
Yeah.
damn, dude, my bad. Like I'm thinking of the 2018. I'm thinking when they went to the AFC Championship against the Patriots with Blake Bortles. You're probably right. I'm such a beaten down fan,
yeah.
dude. I don't even remember the one
Jan-
time Jacksonville's good.
The last time was January 21st, 2023.
Yeah, he's right. We got knocked out by the Chiefs. It's either the Chiefs or the Patriots every freaking time we go to the playoffs. We've been
Eventual
knocked out by
champs,
the huh?
eventual champs. So
Yeah, I'll take it. I
you
guess.
lost to would you rather lose to a Super Bowl winner or just some other team that didn't make it either? I mean,
I don't know.
you got to look at the bright side, Josh. The bright side.
Yeah, you're right.
And I say this as a Royals fan.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
All right, you mentioned it, man. Let's talk. Who'd you just mention?
Very young John Candy.
Yeah,
And
played the
he
security
looked-
guard.
He looked like baby young. Like he was young.
Wasn't he just in a movie that we covered? Am I? Did he make a cameo? He wasn't in. He didn't make a cameo in Blues Brothers, right?
Yes. Orange Whips.
So he did. He was in Blues Brothers. Okay.
Yeah, so they made him look a lot younger in this.
Yeah, because Blues Brothers, he was younger than
Blues-
this. He was 3 years younger.
3 years younger, but he looked older because of the facial hair. And this, he was
Yeah.
all clean shaven, had the puffy cheeks, and they
Yeah.
made him look a lot younger. But honestly, he was young, back in
Yeah.
those two movies. So
It was hilarious too. Whenever they, Mr. Walley,
yeah,
is it Roy Walley?
Roy Walley.
When he showed up, and it was like he was starstruck, and he just kept talking, going, "Oh, I loved you. Remember me? I was the one that
Yeah.
talked to you." And he just kept talking. He goes, "Would you shut up?"
That's what he was really good in this movie.
And I forgot, dude. I don't know how the actor's name. I wish I did, but the guy that played Roy Walley was the same guy that played in Home Alone 2 and
Yep,
gave
as the
him the
candy.
turtle doves.
And the toy store. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy. It's so long since I've seen this movie. So
There's connections to good movies,
yep.
But like, his whole spiel, sorry, sir, park's closed. The moose out front should have told you. So when they closed, Clark gets mad. They go back to the car and head to the sporting goods store where Clark proceeds to get a BB gun.
Yep. It holds old John Candy hostage, basically,
Yep.
taking him on all the rides and
Forcing
almost causing him to throw up.
Forcing him to ride everything with him and run the rides for him. It looked like they were having a good time until the SWAT team shows up.
And you got that iconic scene, which I don't have the screenshot. I had it in one of the promos where they're all got their hands up, including John Candy.
Yeah.
He goes, "You guys stay. You get out of there." But
yes, it was hilarious.
did you know that? And then again, movie, right? You know, you
Mm-hmm.
Roy Walley comes up and basically, in today's world, and even back then too, if you owned a amusement park and you had somebody
Mm-hmm.
holding your security guard at gunpoint, even if it was a BB gun, and basically took somebody hostage and told another cop to lay down, like, are you coming in and laughing and giggling with this guy and saying, you know what? No, drop the charges. There's nothing.
No.
Don't worry about it. He's all right.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean, obviously it's a
But,
movie,
I mean,
but
yeah. And I just love the reference when he's like, you know, Roy, you take your family on vacation? He's, well, yeah, I do once a year. Well, where do you go? Oh, we go to Florida. He's like, well, what would happen if you went to Florida and they're like, sorry, Florida's closed? And he's like, oh, well, they don't do that. They don't close Florida. He's like, well, I know. Well, just go with me here on this. And I'm like, just sweet talks his way into, hey, let's. And then at the end, you know, they're all riding the rides, the SWAT team and everyone else. It's funny, but like you're like, there's no way this would happen.
no. But what a crazy man! What a great, you know, go back to, you know, talk about Nostalgia Mania. This is what we like to do, and I love going back to these 80s and 90s specifically, and kind of watching these films and reliving what I had almost forgotten. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't forget this movie existed, right? Because it's an iconic one, but it's one I haven't seen in years. And it's just, you know, so much of the movie that I just didn't remember.
Yeah.
I
or
love
you
going
don't
back and
think
watching.
about.
Yeah. Did you know that there was an alternate ending to this?
I did not. Or
So,
I think I've heard of it. I haven't seen it or read it.
yeah, it wasn't really. It was part of the ending, right? They were the original ending. They were going to go to Roy Wally's home. He wasn't going to show up at the park.
Oh, okay.
That the family was going to somehow find Roy Wally's like address and somehow end up at his house. But they ended up reshooting it and not including it in the final film.
I think this worked better.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, just for the laughs alone, you know.
Yeah, it would have been less believable if they would have showed up at his house after doing what they did at the park.
Right. Like,
Then,
yeah. So my little theme I was talking about earlier was, if you look at this, and I mean, this goes through all of the movies, really, that Clark is really not a good guy.
No.
I think, you know, if you think about it, he uses his family as a tool to do what he wants and kind of get what he wants. You know, he wanted to go there and he wanted to drive because he wanted the experience, while saying, hey, we'll have a fun trip. This is for you guys, but this is what I want to do. And then he just kind of, you know, keeps pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until he gets to the end in his way, you know. And I'm not trying to spoil any of these for anybody, because they are very funny movies and I don't look at them any other way than they're funny, right? But like Christmas Vacation, I was thinking about that last year and I'm like, he wants to have a good Christmas, but he wants to pull it off so that he can become like the man, you know, like, I did it, I can do it. And at the end, he said, I did it, you know?
Yep.
And he just kept pushing everybody and pushing everybody.
Yep.
Again, we are going to have to watch that one as well, because you and I both love that movie.
Yeah, that's my favorite one of the group,
I think
for sure.
We're going to end up doing all 5 of these.
100%. And look at that, he noticed it. I was going to point it out. But
Yep. Famous blues player Brody Buster.
yeah, I was like, I hope Brody joins because I
Yep.
want him to see that shirt.
Yes, sir. Repping the Brody.
Oh man, but yeah,
Sir.
he was in. This was from a few minutes ago. He was in Rookie of the Year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I missed that comment. But yes, I 100% agree with you when you're talking about Clark Griswold was not a looking at it from afar. Now
Mm-hmm.
watching it again, I'm like, man, from the constant trying to get with that girl
Yeah.
to the pushing his family to not
Yeah.
caring that somebody died to
Exactly. Okay.
holding people at gunpoint. Like it's
Just the chasing after Christie Brinkley alone. Okay. Back in the day, I mean, look. I looked at Christie Brinkley now, and I looked at Ellen, his wife, Beverly D'Angelo. At the time, she was much more pretty, in my opinion.
Christie Brinkley was or
No,
Ellen.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
I I'm like, dude, you have Ellen. Why? There's no.
Yeah.
It had to have been the Ferrari. Come on,
Oh yeah. That's all
he
it was,
just
the
wanted to
Ferrari.
drive the Ferrari.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. So before we kind of close this out, we're getting close to that hour mark. We talked about the kids changing throughout the movies.
Yes,
So you mentioned Anthony Michael Hall was filming something else. Though I looked it up, and this is a little bit different, and it probably makes more
sure,
sense your way, but my way as well. Because kids seem, at least over the course of a year, to grow significantly
sure.
to where if you're trying to do like something that happened around the same time, like if you
Mm-hmm.
watch if anybody has ever watched The Walking Dead and you look at
Yeah,
Carl who starts off as a young kid and that show is supposed to happen over the course of 2 years, 9 seasons worth is supposed to happen over 2 years, and you see Carl from one season to another
mm-hmm.
just skyrocket, and it was only supposed to be a month later. you know, Kids grow significantly. And
Right,
they said Anthony Michael Hall grew too much between this and European Vacation, which is why they ended up
sure.
recasting. And then they did the theme of
The
flipping the
and
kids. And
and
yeah,
that may be, I mean, but I've always heard from before the internet that he wasn't in it because he was auditioning or filming for something else. So
might have been.
I don't know if that's 100% true because I really haven't looked it up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But just
Couple other things. Huh?
the switching kids just cracks me up every time. It
Dude,
doesn't matter which one you watch; they're never the same.
I know, and I love the fact that you pointed that out because I never realized that the kids like one is older than the other in different films. Like I
Yeah,
never noticed that until you mentioned. Like that's
it's hilarious because
yeah,
if you watch this film, it looks like they're about the same age, maybe a year off. But
yeah,
once you hit Christmas Vacation, like
significant difference.
his sister's in high school, and he's probably getting ready to go into middle school.
Yeah, yeah. Couple other interesting facts. Christie Brinkley did not originally have any lines.
Mhm.
That was the original script, and then they ended up building something in after they started filming it. Obviously, the Holiday Road theme kind of is charted after this movie. It was popular, but it got significantly more popular after this movie came out and hit the top charts. But we mentioned anybody watching. We still got some viewers here. I'll let you guys chat in the comments section. Who's here? We've already ranked them, but rank all the vacation movies. Tell us before we get out of here. Where would you rank Vacation, Christmas Vacation, and I'll skim through the movie. So this original one, then you've got European Vacation, Christmas Vacation, Vegas Vacation, and you can even throw in the 2015 sequel, just Vacation. Give us your top five, rank them 1 to 5, and let us know what you think. We'll read them off before we get off the air. Why do you think this movie remains a comedy classic 40 years later?
I think there's just something about it that people connect with. Like they want to. It's funny, and like you see Clark struggles and still having a vacation, and I think it's a lot of it's nostalgia, but I think some of it's just like a lot of the comedy. Like when they crash the car and he's walking across the desert. We didn't even talk about that, right? He's walking across the desert, and he told him, "Wait here. I'm going to go get a tow truck and help." And he finally finds a tow truck, and the family's inside because a car came by 5 minutes after he left, right? And so it's just I think some of the gags and jokes and like a lot of that just still catch people as funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say the physical comedy, like you mentioned, and those gags that happened back in the day, and it still could happen to this day. Like things that happen in that movie, you can see in a movie that was made in 2025, and it would still be just as funny. So, Chase, we already knew his Christmas, Vegas, original, and European is in the pooper somewhere. He says. Again, I'll have to go back and watch European, but let's do what we did last week. Let's do the nostalgia score. So as you remember, those of you listening live, we got a score from 5 to 0. You told me to rank this earlier, 1 to 5. So this is kind of technically the same thing. 5 being Nostalgia Mania, 0 being barely remember it, and no strong connection. And then everything in between. I'm going to stick with that theme, and I'm going to go with the 2 to 3 range. I could probably put it at a 1 for myself because I don't like yes, it's an iconic movie, but it wasn't anything that super impacted me growing up. But I'm gonna put it at a 2, which is medium nostalgia. Let's what say you?
I would go 4 just because, I watched it when I was like 10 and it got me, I think I watched it and then like 6 months later, the other one came out, European came out because it came out in 85. So I watched this one a lot and it just brings back a lot of like, I would always laugh at it and you don't catch things until you're older. So a lot of that stuff that I caught, I didn't catch till I was older that, hey, this wouldn't fly today, or, Clark's not really a great guy, but like you're watching it as a kid or as a young teen and it's just funny, and I just I've always liked comedy movies and this was a great comedy movie. So I have to rank it up there at 4.
Nice. I like it, man. Let's talk about next week. We still got some viewers in here.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, we are heading to Daytona Beach, Florida, all the way back to July 7th, 1996, a date that will forever be engraved in wrestling history. We're going to cover WCW Bash at the Beach, where Hulk Hogan does the unthinkable and turns heel to create the new world order.
Well, the first thing you gotta realize, brother, is this right here is the future of wrestling. You can call this the new world order of wrestling, brother.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
That was great.
Everyone remembers that moment. Everyone remembers that match and what happened. But I am excited to get into what happened before that. Let's look at the undercard, the cruiserweights, the United States. Yeah.
That everybody just forgets.
Me included. I don't know what the hell happened on that card. I don't. I have no memory of it. No recollection.
I'll be honest. I watched it live at my friend's house, and we would watch Monday nights, and we would record WWE. We'd watch Nitro, and then next night we'd watch. And so, like, we'd get every pay-per-view. And there was a group of like 8 of us, and we watched that live. And to this day, I still can't tell you the rest of the card.
Yep. I got some stories, man. I know this is such I know exactly where I was at, what I was doing when I found out about this, and we'll discuss it all next week.
Oh, yep.
Looks like we're gonna have the third member of the 3-man band gonna be on the show. CR Media.
Allowed. He's not allowed. No, I'm just kidding.
CR
I mean, come on. The NWO is 3. We got to have him on here, right?
Oh yeah, we gotta have our third man. We should have teased that a little bit. We should have teased the third man.
We really should have.
That's good stuff.
And then we'll bring in Sting. No, I'm just
the ultimate swerve.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody for joining this, man. National Lampoon's Vacation. This will be uploaded on podcast platforms very soon, hopefully by tomorrow. I need to get it up by tomorrow because if I don't, it's going to be after the weekend because I'm going to the lake. So I need to make sure it gets posted tomorrow.
So I won't be seeing someone at wrestling this weekend.
Yeah, I won't be there. Unfortunately. But it's all right. It's all right. We'll appreciate Autumn for joining in. CR Media, Aaron Wallace in the house, Broderick Hall,
Brody
was here, Brody Buster's in the house, Brian J. Bebe. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Next week, Tuesday, 29th, we will be WCW Bash of the Beach 1996. And this has been another episode of Nostalgia Mania. My co-host, Brian J. Bebe. I am your host, the real Josh Elliott. And as always, let's get nostalgic.